And now the anime welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It is announced the battler party will last 3 days and the first place prize will be an increase in rank for the battler members and an increase of 2 ranks for the battler president. Kiryu continues working on his machine, which flashbacks show he was only able to complete due to Iruma's help, and that his powerful demon friend plans to use his machine to kill as many students as possible. As Kiryu works in his hidden workshop, he is suddenly interrupted by Iruma, who had been dragged through the air by his ring searching for Kiryu's necklace. Kiryu decides to reveal to Iruma that the secret workshop is hidden on the school roof behind one-way, soundproof glass, and that his plan to help the weak stand up to the strong includes the school bell, which will be rung to begin the party. Still not understanding Kiryu's meaning, Iruma urges him to try and win first prize with their fireworks to prove they don't need to be strong to win. Kiryu appears happy he and Iruma are so alike. With the preparations over, the battler party can finally begin, to Kiryu's delight. The party begins, a festival, the night before the main competitions start. As fireworks require darkness, Iruma and the others decide to scout their competition. Iruma knocks the yakisoba battler out of the competition by devouring their famous ogre-sized serving, leaving them with no ingredients. Iruma is warned by his classmates that his main competitors are the new magic battler, who will attempt to conjure water from a stone, the game battler, with their virtual sorcery hat to allow people to experience virtual reality adventures, as well as the underwater circus, and the magic beast battles. As Modius reveals, they will set off their main firework as the school bell rings to signal the start of the competition. Clara accidentally lights the fuse, but when it misfires they realize their biggest firework is missing. Kiryu takes the stolen firework to his workshop. Meanwhile, Ameri's father possesses evidence of Sullivan kidnapping Iruma, given to him by Ball, the powerful demon helping Kiryu. As the sun sets, Kiryu destroys his necklace, covering the entire school with multiple barriers preventing people from being able to move around. Iruma finds himself separated from Asmodeus and Clara by a barrier while Kiryu begins his plan. Sullivan senses the barriers appearing. Iruma realizes the barriers are Kiryu's. Naberius finds the barriers are self-repairing, meaning they could only have been cast by a Tet, 9th rank, and can likely only be fully destroyed by a Yod, 10th rank like Sullivan, meaning his arrest was arranged beforehand. Naberius manages to move by breaking barriers and moving through before they can repair, and has another teacher announce to the students that the barriers are a surprise maze event by the new magic and game battlers. Naberius begins researching all demons with barrier creation abilities. When most of the students make it to the courtyard easily, Naberius worries they were manipulated into going to the courtyard. Kiryu loads the firework into his school destroyer machine, but suddenly realizes Iruma is heading to the lab, somehow finding his way toward Kiryu even though he destroyed his necklace. A flashback reveals Asmodeus deduced Kiryu must have been planning his attack for years and is now using a map of the school and one of Kiryu's magical apparatus, copied by Clara, to guide Iruma through the barriers. Naberius identifies Kiryu as the likely suspect and orders the teachers to capture him. Part of the school collapses and Ameri saves a student from being killed. Iruma finally reaches the lab. Iruma reaches the workshop where Kiryu reveals he plans to use the firework to destroy the school. Kiryu reveals the Ami family are famous for their barriers and magical strength, but when he was born with weak magic, he was sent to the Garden of Delinquents for problem children. Despite being bullied, he made a friend, but when bullies stole her earring and threw it in a river, Kiryu tried to catch it with a barrier but failed, devastating her. That was when Kiryu realized he perversely enjoyed watching people's despair. Ball, who believed demons are too nice compared to their society's evil past, helped Kiryu plan to destroy Babels as a symbol of their weakened society, while Kiryu plans on enjoying Iruma's despair when Clara and Asmodeus die. However, when Iruma seems unconcerned and calmly removes the firework, Kiryu is confused. Iruma explains that thanks to his childhood, he almost never feels despair anymore. Kiryu realizes he and Iruma are not alike at all. Iruma unlocks his ring Zifrit mode to throw the firework into the sky, but it hits the barrier. With the explosion seconds away, Iruma breaks a promise he made to Sullivan and unlocks the ring's Pandarula mode, obliterating the barrier and exploding the firework in the sky where it delights all the watching students. With Iruma passed out, Kiryu saves him from falling off the roof, and despite raging that his plan is ruined, he admits defeat and that Iruma is a better demon than he is. It is revealed that as Iruma was talking with Kiryu, Balsrabin used archery magic to shoot a warning note to Sullivan. Sullivan then broke out of prison and saw Iruma use Pandarula to destroy the barrier, forcing Sullivan to save the school from falling debris. The teachers apprehend Kiryu, though he does remind Iruma to beware of other demons wanting an evil society. He is taken by Demon Border Control to be interrogated. Sullivan shows Iruma that his firework was immensely popular with the students, though he is scolded by Ameri, who wanted to watch the firework together. Iruma shares credit for the firework with Asmodeus, Clara, and Kiryu. As the battler party starts, the students vote for their favorite battlers just as their parents turn up for the party. Iruma prepares the remaining fireworks fireworks before meeting 4 of Clara's 5 siblings and her mother, who are all as eccentric as she is. Asmodeus is caught by his embarrassing mother, Amaryllis, a demon lord of seduction, who showers Asmodeus with love and affection. Sullivan and Opera arrive to attend the festival with Iruma, causing general chaos as they do. As the sun sets, they set off the fireworks and Iruma declares his new family to be his pride and joy before insisting on posing for a photograph with Sullivan and Opera. With the voting over the winner of the battler party is decided, the closing spectacular begins with the handing out of prizes. The succubus battler receives an upgraded clubroom, the new magic battler a year's supply of black holy water, while the grand prize of rank increases is given to the broadcast battler. Nibirius announces that, for unspecified reasons, an extra award has been created, the prize for which is one member of the battler will go up by 1 rank. The winners are announced to be the magical apparatus battler, despite being disqualified due to Kirio's schemes, with Iruma getting the rank increase to Gimel, 3rd rank. Iruma worries he has spent too much time standing out instead of hiding. Amari's father, Henri, takes an interest in Iruma. Amari summons Iruma to read manga but rushes out after seeing her father. Henri confronts Iruma, not knowing why Sullivan is so attached to him. Henri tells Iruma he met a human once before and legally returned them to the human world. He begins to ask if Iruma wants to go home, but is interrupted by Amari, who recounts all Iruma's recent achievements and claims he is an outstanding demon. Suspicious, Henri asks how Amari knows Iruma, and she awkwardly blurts out they spend time alone talking about love, shocking Henri into semi-consciousness. Asmodeus and Clara tell Iruma they know something happened with Kirio, but they are happy to wait for Iruma to tell them. Iruma decides he does not want to return to the human world and must work harder at hiding his human identity. Iruma's rank increase gets more newspaper coverage than Kuromu, a demdoll. Asmodeus explains demdolls are vital as teenage demons go through an evil cycle of destructive behavior, so they are distracted by popular entertainment which converts their impulses into healthy excitement. Kuromu is revealed to be Crossel Carolee, a quiet girl from the misfit class who is embarrassed by her cute idol persona. Despite her siblings being better academically, Crossel found that other demons treated her kindly because she was cute, so she became Kuromu to beat her siblings and earn a higher rank than her mother. However, since Iruma arrived he has been in the newspapers more often than her, making her jealous. At her next concert, she furiously realizes Iruma is in the audience, having received tickets from the broadcast battler. Coincidentally, Iruma wins a ticket to meet Kuromu in person. A furious Crossel struggles to keep her identity a secret, however, Iruma already knew who she was due to her distinctive hands. As her glasses contain identity detection warning, Crossel decides Iruma must be a superfan to notice such small details, but is surprised when Iruma admits he is jealous of how well she manages to stay hidden as he is tired of standing out by accident. Realizing that Iruma is more popular than her without trying only makes Crossel more upset and she passes out with a fever from overusing her ice magic. Crossel's manager, Mal, decides to cancel the show as cooling Crossel's body back to normal requires a family member, none of whom will arrive in time. Amari attends the concert with a ticket from her father, who is working security. Crossel has a nightmare about disappointing her family, then wakes after she should have been on stage, only to realize Iruma saved the show by dressing as a girl and performing an opening act, with Clara and Asmodeus dressed as demdolls, in order to let Crossel recover. Amari suspects the demdoll on stage looks just like Iruma, but convinces herself it couldn't be. Crossel realizes Iruma, who hates standing out, was willing to go on stage to save her career and decides he isn't so bad. She thanks Iruma for his help but then forces him to stay on stage, performing for the entire concert. Afterwards, Mal tells Crossel her entire family actually came to help while she was asleep, making her incredibly happy. Mal also secretly reveals to Iruma Crossel's family love her and have watched every concert on TV, they just cannot come in person because they also pass out when overexcited. Back at school, Crossel warns Iruma if he reveals her identity he will regret it. She also asks if they can still be friends, despite hating all the attention the female Iruma got in the newspapers. Iruma predicts he will have a normal day. After breakfast with Sullivan, he watches Asmodeus and Clara race to school, has homeroom with Nibirius, and attends normal lessons. After school he reads Amari more manga, which contains lines about keeping secrets. Amari remembers the female demdoll who looked like Iruma and nervously asks if he has anything bothering him, and he says he does not. Then, when handing him a snack, she touches his hand and her heart beats wildly. Iruma goes home, has a bath, then dinner with Sullivan, then goes to bed, but suddenly realizes he now fits into demon society, and worries it no longer bothers him. Iruma becomes unusually withdrawn as he considers the offer Henri made to erase his memory and send him home. Asmodeus and Clara decide food will cheer him up and sneak into the school kitchen, however they end up arguing and decide to both make meals and see which Iruma prefers. Clara misunderstands her mother's claim love is the most important ingredient and lovingly crafts a bizarre meal, whereas Asmodeus decides on an elegant fish dish, despite having ichthyophobia. In the morning, Iruma finds both dishes dishes work together to become even tastier. Asmodeus and Clara are forced to agree after trying both dishes and declare it a draw after becoming friends again. Though, a few minutes later, they are arguing again. Iruma finally decides he wants to stay in the netherworld after all. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel because it is very important for the development of the channel.